It is Thursday, June 25th, 2020. Most of the world sucks right now. However, a savior and a hero has arisen to guide us into a new and glorious future. The Loch Ness monster is back. That and so much more on episode 15 of Complaints and Observations.
The greatest podcast hosted by someone who knows so precious little about almost everything. A journey into the mediocre mind of an exceptionally average person. This is Complaints and Observations with Dave LaPointe. Who the hell is Dave LaPointe?
Thank you, as always, to Ken for that amazing introduction. I laugh every single time I hear it because it's just so ridiculous. The fact that I was able to write something, send that something to a voiceover professional and have him record it in the span of about 3 days is fascinating. It's also stupid and hilarious, but anyways, so as you heard in that open, Nessie is apparently back after a photo popped up a few days ago, and I'll get to that in a second. I'm a little wound up at the moment. See, I record the open to try to build a little pre-show suspense or to provide an early out if you decide in 30 seconds that, you're not going to listen to this show. And in all honesty, as of yesterday, I had no fucking clue what I was going to talk about today. So all this shit kind of worked out pretty good. But I recorded that probably, so right now, I would say about 3 hours ago, as I'm recording this now. And prior to 10 o'clock, I had a phone interview at 10 a.m. or was supposed to have a phone interview at 10 a.m. And I had the weirdest fucking interview / phone screening, what have you, that I've ever encountered in my life. Now, as I've documented on the program numerous times, trying to find a job right now is torturous, if nothing else. There are jobs. It's just that there's 50,000 people applying for the same fucking jobs that I am. So, I applied for a commercial sales job with a solar company. And believe you me, if I had a bigger audience, I'd probably call these people out because this guy I talked to was probably a fucking Neanderthal. I was expecting a call from a woman in human resources at 10 a.m. This guy calls, I don't know, I want to say 20 past 9, something like that. And basically, I didn't answer it because it was from a number I didn't match the number from the woman who was supposed to call. Yeah, 9:34 he called. Now, again, interview is scheduled for 10. Myself and the HR lady agreed to this yesterday. Got that set up, ready to go, 10 a.m. Give me a call, we'll talk. Great. That's typically how these things work. Well, I call the number back because he left a voicemail. Didn't say who he was. The voicemail said, "Hey, just leaving you a voicemail. End of message." That was it. I'm like, well, I don't know who this is. I didn't think it was from this company. I'm like, all right, well, I'll call back, see what's going on. Call back. Turns out this person is from this particular solar company. So I said, well, hey, I was expecting a call from this woman in HR. And he said, well, she's not the hiring manager. I said, well, the title in her email is Talent Acquisition and Human Resources. And so the guy doesn't say anything. He just starts talking about the company. So right off the jump, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And he goes through a story that's riddled with whatevers, likes, sniffles. I mean, the dude was clearly doing something else while on this call. So, I'm immediately thinking, all right, there is zero seriousness with this phone call. Excuse me. Whew. I just, a little burp there. I don't know if you heard that. I once had actually, it was my bachelor party, South Carolina. Worst strip club I've ever been to in my life. I'm getting off topic, but the little burp there just jogged my memory. So I'm going to share. Worst strip club I've ever been to. I mean, the minute we walked in, we're like, all right, this is fucking terrible. But it's a bachelor party. It's a strip club. You go with it, right? I wish I could remember the name of the place because I would call these. I mean, one, it was not very clean. Two, the women were probably equally not as clean, and they weren't attractive. Now look, Southern strippers, I don't know if that's a thing, but I mean they can't be attractive. I mean, you go to the Foxy Lady here, and they're 6s and 7s. You're not expecting 10s at a strip club. I was expecting 6s. We got 3s and 4s. So I get dragged for a lap dance with this one young lady, and I was not into it at all. And as she's giving me the lap dance, I burp, which is just. And then she stops and say, "Did you burp?" I said, "Sure did." That's funny. Oh boy. Anyway, I was talking about a job interview. And got into shitty South Carolina strip clubs. Weird. Anyway, so this dude's clearly doing something else. And so, but I mean, at this point, I start asking questions, and it's clear that he's either never interviewed someone, or is just weeding out applicants to see if they're dumb as he is. Which, the more I think about it, could be accurate. So I'm like, all right, so who do you sell to? And he's like, anybody. All right, well, you should have a market, sir. Well, I mean, so I reply, well, this says commercial sales. His response, so anyone with a utility bill. All right, I can see where this is going. Okay, so do you sell residential? He says, well, if you want to sell to a business owner's house or something, you can. Is that something you want to do? And I'm just, I'm flustered at this point. Here it is. I'm going on 2 months trying to find a fucking job now. I'm frustrated, and I'm getting more frustrated by the day. It's demoralizing. And look, it's. I know I don't offer a ton of skills. Like I understand that. That's been covered. But I mean, do I really need to deal with this shit? I said to the guy, "Look, I'm just asking about the role." I said, "What's your name again?" Because he never said he might have said his name, but I didn't catch it. So he tells me his name, and I'm like, I don't really know what the job entails here, and I don't think, and then click. This motherfucker hung up on me. What the actual fuck is that? I apply for the job. He calls to interview me, air quotes. I tried calling him back, and it went straight to voicemail. And I'm just flummoxed. I cannot for the life of me figure out how some people can run a fucking business yet can't manage to string words together for an actual conversation. How is that fucking possible? And this clown show apparently runs not one, but two businesses. And I'm sitting here talking to no one over the fucking internet. Like, human beings are incredibly fucking strange. Brains are weird. How does this gentleman's brain function the way that it does? It has to be ADD. Like, if you don't have it, you're not going to be able to run a successful business. And I'm convinced of that. No offense to anyone with ADD. But if you have it, hopefully you focus on... No, it's not ADD. That's not the right disorder. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to go any further than that. All I know is that I can't fucking understand how this fucking moron... I wish I had recorded the fucking call. Hey, what's the job? Well, what is it that you want to do? Why don't you tell me a little bit? Like, no, dude, why are you calling me? I emailed the HR lady. I'm like, hey, I just got a call from this guy. Does he actually work for your company? Because I just had the strangest conversation of my life. No response. She never called for our 10 o'clock interview. Like, what the fuck? And you know what's even funnier? I hung up with that guy, and I would say maybe 5 minutes after that, I got another phone call from a different number. I answered it this time. Completely different company for another job that I applied for, one that I kind of would want, calling to set up a phone screen for this afternoon. Weird how that shit works. Oh, boy. And so, yeah, I don't understand it. And I feel for anybody who's looking for a job right now or has been looking for a job for a while. Because it fucking sucks. There's got to be another way. Gotta be another way. So, played golf yesterday. And honestly, played incredibly well. At least, for me, played incredibly well. Crushing the ball off the tee. Straight fucking drives. I was on the green in regulation probably 9 times out of the 18 holes, which is fantastic. Shot a 48 on the front 9. I have never shot under 50 on 9 holes ever. So I get this 48 in the front 9, and I'm excited. I'm like, okay, today could be the fucking day. Today could be the day I break 100. Gloriously break 100. Fuck. I'm sorry. I hate when I do that. Like, because I'm gestating. My hands are moving. I have to do that to keep up the illusion that I'm having a conversation with somebody other than myself. So, I thought for sure. Back 9 comes, start off okay. Bogey, 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 bogey. All right, good. We're good. We're okay. A double, then I get an 8 on like 15 or 16. Now, mind you, I had managed to not lose a ball through 15 holes. We get to the 16th hole, and that's where the 8 shows up. I'm fucking losing ball. Lost two balls on one fucking hole. Get the 8 on a par 4. So I'm like, now I'm panicking. It's in my fucking head. 17 rolls around. Shit drive. Just shank job to the right, but it's a very wide hole, so it manages to stay in play. Bust out the rescue. Neat shot. Okay shot, I should say. I managed to get down. I think I got a 6 on that. So, it's par 4. Got a 6. Good enough. 18 rolls around. Fucking perfect drive. Perfect drive. On the green in regulation, 8 putt, whatever. I got a 5 there. Excited. So excited, in fact, that I left my fucking card on the cart. Didn't realize it until we had moved into the restaurant at the other end of the parking lot. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Best round I've played all season. Thought for sure yesterday was the day. And I know the next time I go out, snowmen across the board. 8s everywhere. It's a guarantee. So I was bummed. Not good. And it just, that's just how absent-minded I am. This fucking Joe Rogan alpha brain doesn't seem to work very well. Joe Rogan's alpha brain for memory and focus. Unless you're a fat douchebag and you forget shit all the time. So, yeah, that was golf yesterday. It was good. The home buying, home selling process is moving along. Went and looked at a couple houses yesterday. Didn't really do anything. Organizing, cleaning, doing some stuff. I got to do some more shit today, this afternoon. Get stuff packed up, put away. The realtor's coming on Sunday to take pictures. We're going to list the house. My wife is a little panicky about being able to find something that she likes. I think we're going to be okay. Again, my requirements are minimal. We looked at one yesterday that, with a couple of changes would have been nice, would have been fine. But I don't want to spend a ton of money in, just to put more money into it. Doesn't make a ton of sense. So, but, overall, we're getting there. One of the things I did want to talk about was I had a fucking weird ass dream. Now, I had talked about dreams on a previous episode and how I thought they were bullshit, and they are bullshit. I had a fucking dream last night, folks, that was an all-timer. It involved He-Man. If you're not familiar with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, 80s cartoon, toy line, fantastic. One of my all-time faves. But it was an all-out battle that somehow I was involved in, but we were in a parking lot of some kind. And there were all kinds of people there. My buddy Mark, his 2 kids were there. Why? No fucking idea. An old boss from my previous job. She was there. Don't know why. Rob Flynn, lead singer of Machine Head. He was there. My buddy John, my buddy Isaac, they were there too. All involved. And at some point, just walking around, milling about while this massive He-Man battle is going on. My mother showed up briefly. It was a school, like a large school, almost probably like my old high school, but probably bigger, with a much bigger parking lot. And Skeletor was in the back of a pickup truck. What is that? I woke up at probably 3:30 and I was pissed that I woke up because I'm like, what in the fuck was that? I immediately grabbed my phone and I had to put it in my notes in my Evernote app. I had to write this down because there was no way I wanted to fucking forget that. No way. I'll share that. That'll probably be on the Instagram page. But fucking weird ass dream. And you think of these things, you're like, okay, well, when you put out all the stuff together, I mean, it's stuff that I follow a couple of He-Man pages on Instagram. Go ahead, laugh at me, whatever. The parking lot, I don't know where that came from. My buddy Mark's kids. I saw Mark last week, so we talked about his kids. My old boss, I don't know where that came from. Rob Flynn from Machine Head. I was listening to one of his podcasts the other day. John and Isaac played golf with him last weekend, and my mother, just because I talk to my mother all the time. So, I mean, they're all things that are in there, but putting them all together in a weird format in my subconscious, I don't understand. And it's not, it's things that you think about, so they just all happen to meld together. And it's not like it's a movie scene but when I think about it, it was like an ominous red sky. Nothing was really blowing up. It was just a weird battle scene. And then I'm in some kind of building, like a school or something. I don't know. It's odd. But it kind of gives you an idea of what goes on between my ears. Nothing. Literally nothing. There's nothing going on up there.
I'm without speech. I'm speechless.
So that little snippet was from a voicemail that my other friend, Mark, not the one whose kids were oddly in my dream, different Mark with a C, left a voicemail. And that little snippet, I hope the sound comes out good. I had to put the phone by the mic and record it. Couldn't figure out how to download or transfer voicemail audio. I could probably do it if I spent more time with it, but I chose not to. Anyway, that little snippet has me fucking dying laughing. I got a kick out of that. He also talked about the 10-dog challenge that has been brought up. My buddy Jeff thinks he can eat 10 hot dogs and buns in a reasonable amount of time at will. So not knowing ahead of time, not preparing. And that's the thing. We're going to catch him off guard. That's the big part of the 10-dog challenge. I mean, sure, given enough time and prep, I think not most people, but most oddly obese people could do it. I can't. I am quite obese, and I know full well I couldn't do it. I think 3 max, and I would tap out. But that's the thing. We're going to catch him off guard because he said, I can do it whenever. Fuck you can. And I can't wait to spring those bar-ass hot dogs on him and the fucking cheap-ass buns and watch him suffer. Not a fan of watching my friends suffer. However, in this particular instance, I'm going to point and laugh in his face as he vomits all over me, probably. Anyways, so other things to talk about. West Ham got worked the other day. No fucking surprise. Played okay. I mean, there were a couple of issues in there. I shouldn't even say they played okay. They really didn't. But we're going down. Right now, we're still up as of right now, but only on goal differential. So all you soccer fans out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and we're fucked. So that sucks. Baseball's coming back. Hooray. Gives a fuck. They've fucked up so bad. And look, I'm actively rooting against the Red Sox this year because fuck them. One of their VPs, Sam Kennedy, comes out yesterday. I think it's a probability we'll have fans at Fenway Park. Fuck you, you will. Fuck you. Stop saying that. Stop doing that. There's no fucking reason for it. It sort of, it ties into the Rona that I wanted to talk about. But I also wanted to talk about Bubba Wallace and the giddiness of the crazy one side of the aisle. If you're listening, you know exactly what fucking side of the aisle. No, fuck it. They're fucking right-wing loonies saying it's a hoax and saying, if you paid any attention to this was a NASCAR-driven thing. NASCAR reported it. NASCAR found it. They did all the work. And they did everything that they should have done. They brought in someone else to investigate. That investigation found that this was not a hate crime. Look at that. Wow. Amazing. Yet you're going to have really stupid fucking people saying that Bubba Wallace perpetrated a hoax. Well, those same fucking people are probably the same ones driving around Talladega flying that fucking treasonous flag. And now these motherfuckers here, why? These landscapers that come to the house, come to the building, I should say, no fucking rhyme or reason. I don't even know what the fuck these people do. I can see them on, like, out the window here in the broadcast studio. It's just because we don't have any fucking rain, so it's just a dirt bowl back there. They're going like 40 miles an hour on that fucking riding lawnmower, making noise. If you hear anything, let's blame them. Fuck you. All right, I get lost in thought again. Fuck. Mainly because I'm annoyed at the sound. I hate the sound. And there's no schedule. They show up whenever the fuck they want. It's probably costing us more money. Bubba Wallace. That dude has lived within that beehive of an environment forever. Anything that it resembles a hate crime should be investigated, and that's exactly what NASCAR did. Good on them. And also, look, in reality, good thing that it wasn't a hate crime, because then it would just get more out of hand. Honestly, I think that was probably the best result for all involved. But, you're gonna have people who are just being fucking ignorant, and there's no need for it. There's no need for it. But, look, that kid, again, giant balls, good for him. In the grand scheme of actual NASCAR racing, he's not that great. He's average. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. His pit crew fucking failed him the other day. He ran out of fucking gas. So, but the Rona's fucking everywhere. It's not going away. Here in the Commonwealth, we have it where we have the number of cases has declined. We're doing okay, but now the rush to open everything up and go back to the way it was is probably going to fuck us in the long run. And look, enough of this. You need to sacrifice fucking people to get back to work. Enough. You can do it in a responsible manner. Put the mask on. Don't fucking touch anything. Don't touch anybody. No mass gatherings. We're fine. Okay? But for some reason, this is a very difficult thing for some people to do. Still can't figure it out. A good analogy I heard the other day is if you're driving down the street and you see a stop sign, what do? You stop. Why? Because the sign says stop. Right? And because you don't want to fucking kill yourself or kill somebody else while you're driving a car. If you go into a building or you're going into an establishment and there's a sign that says you must wear a mask, you know what that means? Put the fucking mask on. How is it any different? You don't want to go in there and give somebody the Rona or get the Rona yourself, right? It's the same fucking thing. Just put it on. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. It sucks. But you know what it is? A minor inconvenience. most of these people aren't the kind of people that are in an environment where they have to wear it for 10, 12 hours a day. 45 minutes, an hour. I mean, we were at fucking Mohegan. I told you about Mohegan last weekend. We had to wear it most of the time. Ooh, big fucking deal. Vegas, apparently, they just mandated. Now you got to wear a mask in Vegas. Good. Good. Because you had people in that cesspool in Arizona coming up to fucking to Vegas and causing a fucking scene, causing a ruckus. You don't need it. You don't need it. And all of this could just be stemmed easily if there was an actual mandate that said everybody has to wear a mask wherever you go. All right. If 80% of the country was wearing a mask, we'd be much better off. Because you're going to have that 20% who thinks they're way too fucking good for it. Which is precisely why I think the NBA is not going to work. The NHL is probably not going to work. Golf eventually is not going to work. Any sports in this country, they're not going to work. I'm convinced. Because you're going to have too many people, especially when all these fucking things are in Florida. You're going to have too many people that say, oh, I'm going to go out. I want to go to a bar. I want to go to a club. That's why it's not going to work. And you're not even fucking yourself. All you're doing is fucking screwing everybody else and the greater good. There's no reason for it. Stop being a selfish prick. Hunker down. Do your job. Wear a mask. It's very simple. It's not hard. It literally is not hard. It seems every other place on the planet can do it except for us. Because we just get stupider and stupider by the day. That's it for the show. Thank you, as always, for listening to Complaints and Observations. You can send an email at showmail@complaintsandobservations.com. You can visit the website, complaintsandobservations.com. There's nothing there, but you know what? Go there anyway. There's a great picture of me in the Azores looking fat and stupid. It's glorious. Check it out. I want to write more blogs on there. I might write one tomorrow morning, post it. Don't know what it's going to be, but I'm guessing something stupid will happen between now and then that'll provide some content, like today's episode. You can go to the Twitter page, Complaints Pod. You can go to the Instagram page, Complaints and Observations Pod. There's a YouTube page that you can go to. I have all this shit. Facebook page. You can go there. Leave notes, leave messages. If you want to be on the show, just ask. Except for you, Ed. Tell your friends. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Godspeed. Ta-ta. Right? Hold on. I got to click it. Let me try that again. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Godspeed. Ta-ta. Wait a second. I didn't even fucking talk about the Loch Ness Monster. See what happens with this goes back to what I said earlier about my fucking brain. Listen, somebody posted a picture on the internet saying that it was a fish in Loch Ness in Scotland. So it's like, oh, geez, Nessie is back. Look at that. I had to do a little research. I had to figure something out. The Twitter detectives helped out, saying it's an 8-foot catfish. What the? An 8-foot catfish? People are also saying that the thing's fake, but, I like to believe that it's either the Loch Ness Monster, which at this point is, I don't know, 80 years old. It's an old-ass fish, or whatever it is. Or an 8-foot catfish. I think the 8-foot catfish is funnier. That this dude happens just to be standing on the shoreline of the lake and sees an 8-foot catfish in the water. And then the internet explodes. Because in this current, 2020 is just the year of weird shit. It wouldn't surprise me if all of a sudden, the Loch Ness monster did exist, ate a few people, and then just went back into the water. See, that's how much has gone on between the time I started the program and where I am now. That I completely forgot about the little intro. Which, reasonable hook. Yeah, I would say so. Anyways, that's it. Sorry about that. I had to at least mention it. Check it out. Go online. Picture of the fish. Thank you. Goodbye.